So everyone, I think I'm doing that for the whole family. Sad, but this is about Tony and celebrating Tony. So I put up a post saying last night, let's go to the parlour, because if we were all together, we'd be going to the pub to celebrate Tony with song and stories and mates and telling things and saying things. So I'm not going to let the coronavirus stop us doing that. So this is the parlour. And we all have a parlour, whether it's your back garden, your front room, whatever it is, that's your parlour today. And in that parlour you can tell stories you remember, tell jokes you remember from Tony, things he said, songs, everything, right? So now I'm going to turn into Tony's country brother for a few minutes. So, if you're Irish, come into the parlour. There's a welcome there for you. And if your name is Michael, Peter or Pat, you're always welcome. There's a welcome on the mat. If your name is Jean, Mary or Anne, if you come from Ireland, there's a welcome on the mat. And if your name is Thomas, Tony or Cyril or Jerry, you're welcome on the mat. If you're Irish, come into the parlour. There's a welcome there for you. And if your name is Eileen, Breeder or Bernie, as long as you come from Ireland, there's a welcome on the mat. And if you're Irish, come into the parlour. There's a welcome there for you. And if you know shucks, whether you're a friend, a nephew, son, a daughter, a brother, a sister, whatever, there's a welcome there for you. So, just want to tell you something about Shocks. You see, Shocks told me this story, and none of you might know this story now. Shocks has a brother, Cyril, and Cyril, he's a famous singer. He's produced a few albums and all, he's famous. But before he was famous, well, he used to be practicing his songs and trying to say, which is fair play, fair enough, So him and Tony used to work together on the building, and they were doing this job down the country, working down out in the borough in the middle of nowhere and all that, driving up and down during the week and everything. So what Cyril was doing was recording some of his songs, and on the way down he was playing them to Shocks in the cassette tape in the van, right? Shocks be listening to, a bit like Cass Whalen or whatever, because he was only practicing, right? So anyway, this is going on for a week or two or whatever, So then the next week, Cyril gets in, he said, Shocks, I recorded the whole album, and he put in the cassette tape, and here's Tony after a week of this, I've had enough in his head. He said, jeez, I've had enough, right? And he said, so they drive it down. So he's listening to it, and in the middle of the borough, Tony says, in his head, I've had enough of this, and he pressed the eject button, grabs the cassette, and fucks it out the window, out into the middle of the borough. And that was the bleeding end of that. And Cyril went into trauma. Jesus, he thought that was the end of his career. He was upset, but it wasn't. Cyril got back on the track, and later on started producing more songs and more albums, and now he's famous. So that was the story about Cyril and Tony before he was famous, So now, other things I want to tell you that today, the parlour, right? There's some fantastic lineups today. Oh, you will not believe it. We are live streaming artists from all around the world, right? And we are going to celebrate Tony like you never believed, right? And you're going to celebrate Tony from your parlour. You're going to send us an old story or a thought or thing you said, and that includes you, Joe Brumbury and O'Keefe and the rest of them, right? Don't forget that. And so, the lineup. Now, they'll be live streaming because we're all in parlour lockdown. But we're not going to let that get in the way. So, here we go. We will have this guy, right? I'm telling you now. So he sings. I'm changing into the country brother on and off, okay? So, his name is Peter. Right? No. Oh, Jesus, no. This fella doesn't look tigers, but he loves feckin' teddy bears. And when you hear him, bloody brilliant. And he does other songs, and amazing. So we'll have him. He'll be live streaming, no doubt about that. I know he will. And then we have, from Spain, all the way from Spain. Oh, feckin' fantastic artist. This fella does the drums and the guitar. Oh, Jesus, the whole lot of it. Fantastic. And I know he'll be on with a great bloody song. Oh, you never know, he might surprise us with a bloody story. Who knows? And then, now waiting to hear about this fella. This fella is unbelievable. He's been booked out constantly. Booked out in the Transport Club, booked out in the Ballyfermot Club, booked out in the Cold Cut. Tommy Elvis. Feckin' unbelievable. Tommy Elvis. You want to see this fella. He looks fantastic. Glasses, hairdo, the whole shebang. He'll blow your bloody mind now, I tell you. So, fantastic. Absolutely. And then, the icing on the cake. Cyril. Now Cyril will have loads of stories about shocks. Things you never heard of and you wouldn't believe. Fantastic. And as well as that, he's a huge recording artist. Fantastic. So I'm sure we'll have a few little bits from him. Definitely.